Ayo! Wait. I thought we wouldn't have to go back to this gorilla and versus 100 men nonsense. But Eddie Hall and some UFC fighters have been talking reckless, straight stupidness, idiotic. I think they lost too many brain cells fighting, but just stupid. Go on and explain.
Eddie Hall and some UFC fighters. Bo Nickel, first of all, if anyone knows Bo Nickel, he's a welterweight wrestler.
I think he might be a middleweight.
He might be a middleweight wrestler, sorry. That fights at the middleweight division in the UFC. Excellent fighter, great wrestler. Thinks 4 of him can beat a gorilla. 4.
Was it 4? It was something like that, 4 or 5 or something like that.
Doesn't matter, give him 100. 100 Bo Nickels can't beat him. I don't think people understand the gorilla. I can't believe we're talking about this again. Eddie Hall, one of the strongest human beings on earth. Might just be the strongest human being on earth. You never know. It thinks 2 of him. Like, Eddie, you are strong. Don't get me wrong. One of the strongest people on earth, if not the strongest person, probably. But this is a gorilla. And 2 of you cannot beat a gorilla. 2 of you can barely beat John Jones. You might not be able to take on John Jones or Francis Ngannou.
And he was saying 2 of him in his prime. It doesn't matter in your prime or now. You cannot beat a gorilla with 2 of you. We went from 100 to Bo Nickel 5 or something to now 2. And then Merab, the idiot, if anyone knows Merab, I don't know if he's joking or not. He could single-handedly one-on-one, and Brandon Moreno. They both first weighed like 135, 125. They think one-on-one they can beat a gorilla. I don't know if they're being real or not.
I think they've been joking about that one, to be honest.
You know, some MMA fighters are retarded. They think, that's the problem with the MMA fighters. They think just because they can fight, you know, they think that just because they can fight, they can beat anyone.
Yeah, that's how it works.
Yeah, like you can't. You just fight MMA, calm down, go sniff some crotch.
First things first, none of those MMA fighters, not a single one can beat John Jones. That's the one. None of them. 2, 3 Merab, 4 Merabs can't beat John Jones. Or Francis Ngannou. Or Stipe Miocic. Or a Black Beast. Or Tom Aspinall. Let alone a gorilla. I don't think people are understanding. Alright? You cannot beat a gorilla. No human being. Doesn't matter who you are. Doesn't matter how many of you there are. Cannot beat a gorilla.
And I don't understand why no one's answered this question. How are you going to kill the gorilla? Like, how's Eddie Hall or Merab, how are they going to kill the gorilla? You tell me.
Yeah, I know. Your bite's not going to get through his skin. Your scratches aren't going to affect him. You can't choke a gorilla out. Doesn't matter how many you are. You won't be able to physically choke it out.
First of all, what's his name? Merab couldn't beat a broken hand Omar.
Yeah, barely got through a broken hand Omar.
He couldn't even choke out Omar in one decision.
Yeah.
And split decision.
Yeah.
But apparently he's gonna single leg a gorilla.
Yeah, or inside, he said an inside trip.
A gorilla. Like a gorilla doesn't have good balance. Like a gorilla doesn't have four limbs.
Yeah. Oh my god, I can't believe we're doing this. And Eddie Hall, you can barely beat a heavyweight fighter.
And Eddie Hall's gonna be talking about like the gorilla getting tired. You're gonna get tired faster than the gorilla.
I know.
You weigh like what 400 pounds in your prime probably. You're not gonna last like 20 seconds. And I don't know how these people think they're gonna kill the gorilla without weapons.
Yeah, there's no way.
Yeah, like your punch is gonna do nothing. You can't choke it out. You can't scratch it or itch it. Some people said they're gonna get to the eyeballs, and then there's a zookeeper that worked with gorillas. He's like, the eyeball socket is so, like the skin is so thick on it, you can't get through it.
Yeah, that's what
like,
people are
you can't just poke out his eyeballs.
Yeah, and it's one scratch or slap, like as DC explained, is going to kill you.
Yeah.
There's no two ways about it. It's going to kill you. You know who can beat another gorilla? One gorilla is another gorilla. That's it. That's it. A more realistic comparison, maybe a black bear, a brown bear, grizzly bear, and a gorilla. Do something like that. Think about it like that. None of you can beat any animal, let alone a gorilla.
Yeah, hopefully we don't have to come back to this topic, but yeah, we just had to come up with another quick rant because of Eddie Hall and some MMA fighters. Firstly, MMA fighters need to go focus on being a boxer, okay? Go beat a boxer. Stop thinking you're all that. You guys always talking smack about boxers. Don't want to. Oh, they can't compete with us. We can just take them down. They don't want to compete with you. You guys make no money. That's why you go to boxing. Terrence Crawford just said on a podcast, we don't say we can beat them.
Yeah, it's true.
And we don't wanna. We don't go there because you don't get paid. They come here because they want to get paid. So first focus on being a boxer, okay? You can't first get to Jake Paul, then work your way up to a gorilla.
Yeah, and for all those that think just there'll be an MMA fight or you'll fight dirty, the gorilla doesn't know how to fight any other way. All right, your instincts aren't going to take over. If you won't fight for your life, the gorilla will also fight for his life. It's ridiculous. First beat John Jones. First somebody in the UFC beat John Jones. Then you tell me if you can take on a gorilla.
And another thing is, I see some idiot going to a zoo and trying to jump the fence. I can sense it somewhere in the world. That someone's gonna try to take on a gorilla or try to get in the in the zoo area where the gorilla is, and it's gonna be a short night for that person. Hopefully that doesn't happen, but I see it. I saw some people jump in there with tigers and lions.
Yeah.
And then even if the gorilla does nothing, people are gonna be like, "Oh, the gorilla was scared." No, he wasn't scared. He don't want to hurt you. Okay. Hopefully we're done with this, and yeah, that's it. Thank you for listening.